7 brothers killed their own sister and ate her flesh. True folklore story.
Long ago, in a small village surrounded by dense forests, there lived a family of 7 brothers and their only sister. Their parents had passed away when they were very young, and the children quickly learned how to take care of themselves. The 7 brothers loved their sister deeply, and she, in return, cared for them more than her own life. Years went by peacefully. One evening, while the brothers were away hunting, the sister was preparing dinner for them. As she was cutting fresh greens, the sharp knife accidentally sliced her finger, and blood began to flow. Frightened at first, she quickly composed herself. She thought, "If my brothers find out, they'll worry too much." Not knowing what else to do, she wiped the blood with the very greens she was cooking. Later that evening, when the brothers returned home, she served them the meal. The brothers were amazed by the taste, saying, "Sister, tonight's food is the most delicious we've ever had." She smiled quietly, happy that they were pleased. But the next day, while out hunting again, the brothers began to discuss what made the meal so special. When they returned home and asked her about it, she hesitated, but after being pressed again and again, she told them the truth, that her finger had been cut and her blood had mixed with the greens. Hearing this, the 6 elder brothers exchanged strange looks. That night, as they all sat together, the eldest said in a dark tone, "If just a few drops of her blood tasted so good, imagine how her flesh would taste." The others, except for the youngest, nodded in agreement. The youngest brother's heart sank in horror. The next morning, the eldest told his sister lovingly, "Dear sister, you are now of age to be married. We have found a good husband for you and will take you to see his home today." Excited, she dressed up and followed them happily through the forest. The journey was long and she grew tired. "Brother," she asked softly, "how far is my husband's home?" The eldest smiled and pointed ahead. "There it is, sister, your new home." As she walked toward it with hope in her eyes, the brothers suddenly grabbed her. Before she could understand what was happening, they tied her to a tree. Terrified, she cried out, "Brothers, what are you doing?" But their faces had turned cold and cruel. The eldest ordered, "Tie her tightly." Seeing her own brothers become her killers, her heart broke and she wept bitterly, calling upon God to save her. The youngest brother stood trembling, tears filling his eyes, powerless against the cruelty unfolding before him. After binding her, the eldest commanded each brother to take turns, everyone to shoot her one by one.
The eldest brother was just about to fire the first bullet at his sister when suddenly, in a painful, trembling voice, she began to sing in front of him. "Shoot, shoot, brother. Aim at the chest. Your bullet will fly toward the forest." The eldest brother fired harshly, but the bullet missed its target. Then the second brother stepped forward, and again the sister sung her sorrowful song. The second brother also failed to hit her. One by one, all 6 brothers tried to kill their sister, but every single time their bullets missed. Now it was the youngest brother's turn. All the brothers screamed at him, "Shoot with full force! Kill her in one shot! If you fail, we won't spare your life either!" The youngest brother was shaking, his heart breaking. He loved his sister deeply. Seeing his life in danger, the sister made a heartbreaking decision in silence. She would die, but she would not let her youngest brother be killed. She prayed in her heart, "Oh God, please let his bullet pierce my chest so he will not be killed by these sinful brothers." Then she once again sang in her painful voice, "Shoot, brother, aim at my chest. May your bullet pierce my heart." Tears streamed from the youngest brother's eyes, but helplessly shaking, he pulled the trigger. The bullet struck deep into her chest. She trembled in agony for a few moments. Then her eyes closed forever. Watching their cruel plan succeed, the 6 brothers smiled with wicked satisfaction. Together they cut her body into pieces. The eldest brother then ordered the youngest brother to go into the forest to bring firewood and water. The youngest brother was shattered inside. In front of his eyes, his loving sister's body was being chopped and cooked, but he was helpless. When he went to the forest, along with water and wood, he also brought some fish and crabs. He thought to himself, I cannot eat my sister's flesh, but if I resist, these cruel brothers will kill me too. Soon the rice and meat were ready, and the meal was served. All the brothers were eager to eat. The youngest brother had secretly dug a hole next to where he sat. As soon as the sister's flesh was placed in his plate, he hid it quickly and dropped it into the hole, eating only fish and crab instead. The other brothers were chewing on their sister's bones. Once everyone finished, the eldest brother ordered him, "Now clean up this mess." The youngest brother collected the bones and remaining body parts, secretly burying them in the same hole and covering it with dirt. Time passed. From that grave, a bamboo shoot sprouted, and soon a whole bamboo grove grew in that place. One day, a wandering saint passed through and noticed the strange bamboo, dense, tall, and different from all the others. He thought, why not make a musical instrument from this bamboo? I can play it and ask for alms in villages. So he cut a bamboo stalk and took it with him. From that bamboo, he crafted a musical instrument called a sarangi. He played it daily while traveling from house to house, spreading knowledge and asking for alms. One day, the saint arrived in the same village where the 7 brothers lived. By now, 6 brothers were married. Only the youngest remained alone. He had never forgotten his sister's suffering and refused to marry. When the saint arrived at the eldest brother's house, the moment he stepped into the courtyard, the sarangi began to sing on its own. Do not play, sarangi. This is the biggest enemy's house, the house where compassion and love were abandoned, where betrayal stained relationships. Hearing this, sweat dripped down the eldest brother's face. He recognized the voice instantly. It was the same voice of the sister they had killed and eaten years ago. Terrified, he whispered to his wife, "Give him alms quickly and send him away." Without questions, the saint accepted the alms and left. He then visited each brother's home one by one, and every time he entered, the sarangi sang the same painful song. The brothers grew terrified and ordered their wives to give alms quickly and drive him away. Finally, the saint reached the youngest brother's home. The moment he stepped inside, the sarangi changed its tune. Now it played a gentle melody. Play, oh sarangi, this is my youngest brother's home, the one who held my pain in silence through lifetimes. The youngest brother froze. The voice seemed exactly like his sister's. At first he tried to dismiss the thought, but after the melody repeated, an eerie realization struck him. He respectfully invited the saint inside and served him with warmth. Then he asked about the sarangi. The saint explained, this instrument is made from a special bamboo that grew deep in the forest, in a strange place unlike any other. Hearing this, the youngest brother's heart grew heavy. He felt a deep connection. He pleaded softly,
Please, Master, grant me the gift of the sarangi.
Without question, the saint handed it to him and left. The youngest brother placed the sarangi in its sacred space, lighting incense and a lamp, as though it were something holy. But within a few days, he sensed something strange. Every evening when he returned home, the entire house was cleaned. The floors swept, utensils washed, everything perfectly arranged. At first he thought maybe neighbors or his sister-in-laws were helping, but when it kept happening every single day, suspicion grew. He went to his sister-in-laws and asked, "Do you clean my house when I am gone?" Shocked, they replied, "We barely have time for our own chores. Why would we clean yours?" Now his curiosity became urgent. He decided to uncover the truth. That night, he silently hid in a dark corner of his house. Around midnight, he heard a soft rustling sound. His breath stopped. The sarangi began to glow faintly. Slowly, a shadow emerged from it, shaping into the form of a young woman. His eyes widened in disbelief. The woman looked exactly like his dead sister. She quietly cleaned the house, arranging items lovingly as if they were precious, washing dishes, wiping floors, every movement filled with care. After finishing, she slowly returned into the sarangi. The youngest brother was stunned, unable to move, until she disappeared completely. The next morning, he revealed everything to his eldest sister-in-law. She remained silent for a moment, then spoke seriously.
If this is true, then listen carefully. The next time she appears, throw the sarangi into fire immediately and sprinkle holy water over her. Only then will her soul be freed from its old body. But remember, if you hesitate even for a second, she may vanish forever.
This time, he was more alert and prepared than before. His eyes stayed locked on the sarangi, not blinking even once. Suddenly, the same soft rustling sound returned, and a faint light began glowing from the sarangi, shimmering and alive. Slowly, she appeared again, his sister. Just like every night, she began cleaning the house, her movements gentle, familiar, and full of care. As soon as she finished her final task and began walking back toward the sarangi, the younger brother moved. He grabbed the sarangi and threw it straight into the fire. The moment it touched the flames, a blinding burst of light exploded by across the room. Ban wasting a second, the younger brother sprinkled holy basil water onto her, and then something unbelievable happened. Slowly she began transforming, her form shifting, becoming real, human, alive. The younger brother couldn't believe it. The sister he lost forever was standing before him once again, overwhelmed. He ran to her. She rushed into his arms and both of them cried without control, without shame. He held her hand tightly, refusing to lose her a second time. But the story wasn't over. The younger brother had made a decision. The truth would finally be spoken. He gathered the entire village. His voice trembled, his eyes filled with grief. He began, "Today I will reveal a truth so horrifying that it will shake your faith in blood, in family, and humanity." He continued, "My sister's death was not an accident. My own 6 brothers took her into the forest, lied to her, and made me kill her with my own hands. And worse, they cut her body, cooked her flesh, and ate it." Gasps filled the silence. "But today, by God's strange miracle, she stands here again alive." He called out, "Come forward, sister." She stepped forward, and the crowd froze. The girl they once buried was alive. Tears filled the villagers' eyes. Shock turned to grief. Grief turned to rage. Voices whispered, "Such monsters cannot live among us." The village elders declared punishment. They will be beaten and driven out forever. The 6 brothers fell to their knees begging, pleading. But no heart softened, not even their wives stayed. They left them forever. The brothers cried, believing death was certain. But then their sister stepped forward. She said, "I know their sin is unforgivable, but they are still my brothers. They regret everything. Give them one chance." Her compassion shook their hearts, and for the first time, the 6 brothers wept sincerely. Slowly, the villagers' anger softened, and they forgave them. The sister walked to them, and one by one they folded their hands, crying and ashamed. She forgave them. All 7 siblings held each other, crying and healing. The village watched with tears in their eyes. Together, they returned home. And from that day forward, they loved their sister more than life itself. And with that, the story comes to an end. Tell us, did this story touch your heart? For more ancient legends and forgotten folklore, don't forget to subscribe to Beyond History. See you again in the next tale.